Hello everyone, welcome to my channel CLK'S Gaming. Today we are operating FlixTrain from Frankfurt to Fulda. This FlixTrain is hauled by BR193 Vectron. We'll start with setting up this train. First of all, we'll open the right hand side doors. We'll turn on the master key. Then we'll make the train brakes into the cutting position and put the reverser into the forward direction. We are now having the headlights at signal lights position and everything is perfect. We will also turn on the safety systems like LZB, PZB and CFA isolation. So everything is now set to normal. Normal means everything is working. Isolated means the safety systems are not turned on. You can see the markers are also here like tick and cross. Signal lights are set to auto. Parking brakes are released. And here it is. So we are all set to go. Actually the doors are not open because our master key was not in on position at the time when we pressed this switch. So it's okay, the doors are now open. I will shortly depart from Frankfurt. So this is the small station of the Frankfurt, but the main Frankfurt HBF station is here. You can see Frankfurt main HBF. So this is the main station, but this train originates from here only. I think this train comes from some another route, like it may come from here or here. I think that's why it originates from here. So we are operating this train till Fulda. After Fulda it will go ahead on its own route. I don't know the exact destination of this train, but it's okay. In the game till Fulda the map is available, so we'll operate till there only. So let's start moving. So we have set the throttle into the 40%, around 40%, and I think shortly we'll start moving. Yes, we are now moving. You can see so this was the sound of PZB and LZB acknowledgement. It will come a lot time along the way whenever we will acknowledge the safety systems. So you can see our next stop is the last station only, which is Fulda, platform number 8, and it is around 87 km from here. So it will take less than 1 hour to complete, around 57 minutes to complete today's journey, because this route is having varying speed limits. Sometimes you may get speed limit of 200 kmph, sometimes you may get speed limit of almost 100 kmph also at the curves. So this type of varying speed limits are there on this route. That's why it is taking a lot of time, like 57 minutes for the 87 kilometers. So it is like following average 100 kmph speed for our today's journey. So here you can see we are getting 150 kmph speed limit shortly. We'll now increase our speed because we have to cover up the 86 km, and this is not a high speed route. At Fulda we will join the Castle to Duisburg. I don't know the exact pronunciation of these stations, but we'll join that high speed route. I will tell you. You know that route launched with Trainsim World 3, featuring the ICE trains running at 300 to 250 kmph speed. So that is the high speed route. This route is not a high speed route. This route is like a branch line between Fulda to Frankfurt. So yeah, the high-speed trains are getting operated on this route, but they are not really running at a high speed. They are running at just the speed like today we are running. You can see the speedometer. So shortly we are having speed limit of 110. So the Sipa is having very low sound of the alarm. That's why we need to be quite vigilant, because that Sifa will apply brake if we don't acknowledge it properly. And you can see the Frankfurt is having its own international airport. You can see the planes coming to the Frankfurt. Shortly we'll cross the Hanau. I don't know, again I am saying I don't know the exact pronunciation, but this is some big station called Hanau HBF. So this is on this line, but we are not stopping at the station today. So talking about this locomotive is also called as a computer on track. This locomotive is very high tech and made by, you can see, the well-known brand called Siemens. You can see we are now having speed limit of 160 kmph. So we'll now increase our speed. A lot of FPS drops you will see while operating the train on this route if you don't have a decent specs on your PC, because this route is something having bugs, or also it is very graphically high demanding. You can see a lot of tracks moving here and there, and high quality graphics are there in this game. So this creates some kind of issues, not exactly issues, but it puts a stress on your hardware of PC. So we have now reached at 160 kmph. You can see all the aspects of the signal are green. That means the signals are clear and nothing is there in front of us. No obstacle, no train, nothing. We are clear to move at the speed suggested by the track, track speed limit. I don't know how to turn on the AFB, but let's see. It works. It's currently not working. I don't know why it is not working. And also there is not any switch to turn on the AFB. I think this route is not having LZB, the working position. That's why the AFB is also not working. I don't know exactly. It should work actually. Manually also it should work. But I don't know where is the switch of turning on the LZB. I tried to find the switch, but I am not getting it. I'll slightly overcharge the brakes. You can see in the route map, this small route map. Actually, it is not a route map. It is just the signal and speed limits map. You can see. We are shortly getting 130 kmph speed limit, and today we are following metric units. You can see like kmph, kilometers and all, because we are in Germany. Europe follows the metric units. system. UK follows the imperial units and US also follows the imperial units. So their trains run in, what you say, miles per hour and all. I don't know why the safety system is active. It is showing 1000 Hz warning, but it hasn't given any warning here.
Zwangsbremsung. Zwangsbremsung. Zugbeeinflussung.
It's okay.
Zugbeeinflussung. Zugbeeinflussung. Zugbeeinflussung.
If
Zugbeeinflussung.
this happens again, then we will turn off the safety system.
Zugbeeinflussung.
Because before giving the 1000 Hz braking, it should show the 1000 Hz warning here to reduce the speed at 85 kmph.
Zugbeeinflussung.
But it has not given any warning.
Zugbeeinflussung.
Without warning, it turned on. Let's see. You can see this type of warning it should give. Not exactly same like this, but it will show the 1000 Hz here. Then only it will activate the brakes. If we fail to reach out, you can see.
Zwangsbremsung. 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 Zwangsbremsung.
Automatically it is getting activated.
Zwangsbremsung.
I am
Zwangsbremsung.
not getting any calls or reason.
Zwangsbremsung. 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 Zugbeeinflussung. 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 Zugbeeinflussung.
Let's see.
Zugbeeinflussung. 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 Zugbeeinflussung.
Actually, driving with this LZB PZB is quite difficult, but it is not that much difficult.
Zugbeeinflussung.
Sometimes it gives problems like this.
Zugbeeinflussung. Zugbeeinflussung.
So let's start moving. We'll see later on why it is happening. So this type of things waste our lot of time during the journey. You can see 2 times our train came to stop by emergency brakes. I think we should not exceed the speed limit, that's why it is giving the warning. Currently we are having 110 kmph speed limit, you can see. Now it is not giving any warning. Let's see if further it gives us this type of sudden emergency brake warning or something quite strange, then we will turn off the safety system, because we don't want any delays because of the safety systems. So I think we will cross now the big station in between, which is Hanau HBF. Again, I don't know the exact pronunciation because in German some pronunciations are different from English, so I don't know the German language. I found this route quite boring because of its speed limit. Speed limits are continuously changing on this route, so it is very boring to operate the train. You can see we are crossing now Hanau HBF. There are a lot of FPS drops will happen here because of the number of railway tracks you can see at this station. That's why it puts a load on your GPU. for rendering all this stuff you can see in front of you. And the sound of traction motor is also very good for this particular locomotive. You can see very good sound of traction motors. And now you can see after 2 kilometers we will get 200 kmph speed limit. This is very good thing. And yeah, you can see the LZB is now active. But the AFB is not working, I don't know why. We'll put it aside now, we'll not disturb that AFB handle. So I think this part is high speed part. You can see some DBBR 401 is crossing from left hand side. So here we'll get 200 kmph speed limit. As you can see, it is written as 16, but in map it's showing 200. But in track signs it is written as 160. We'll follow the map one. So throttle is at 90% and we are gaining our speed rapidly. And we'll hit 200 kmph speed today. Because after this again we'll get a lot of speed limits. Till then we'll try to pull our train at a high speed. You can see we are crossing 160 kmph mark. This engine has a good horsepower. Pulling this train quite easy. This train is not very big in length. Keep an eye on the signal because I saw some trains are moving there in front of us, like some goods train and some regional train is there in front of us. So we'll need to keep an eye on the signal because we are having our safety systems turned on. That will interfere in between our train operation. See how fast we are covering the kilometers. Just 64 kilometers left for our destination. This is where we are covering our lot of time. We have wasted our some amount of time in the safety system, reset and all the things. So here we'll cover that time which we have wasted already. So the track on which we are operating our train is high speed track, I think. That's why on left hand side you can see a lot of cluster of points and crossings, but here there is nothing, just single track going in straight direction. I can see on the route indicator, you can see here after 5 kilometers we are having red signal. That we'll need to keep keep in mind because some train is there running in front of us. We'll put the throttle to 0 position because at any time we'll need to apply the brakes. Because the 1000 Hertz first warning will be given at the yellow signal only. So at that signal we will need to reduce our speed below 85 kmph and we are at currently 185. So this is some advantage of HUD. In real life you don't get any advantage of this HUD. Can see a green and 2 yellow means the next signal is danger. So these are the German signaling systems. I will reduce the speed at quite faster rate. Can see in just 900 meters we are having red signals. Okay, so that red signal shifted and turned into a green one, you can see. Okay. We'll now maintain some decent speed in between 100 to 150. Can see the 1000 Hertz is saying us to reduce the speed below the 85 kmph. To prevent the emergency brake application we need to do a lot of things rapidly. And it is also very good, if you can see. The red signal is just there and it just turned into the green. You can see this signal was red and now it is finally green. And I will see. Yeah, you can see the goods train is going in loop line, which is there in front of us. This is some stopping train. I will keep 85 kmph speed only because again that 1000 Hertz warning will pop up and will say us to reduce the speed. You can see the 1000 Hertz warning is there. But you can see in front of us the signal is now green because the goods train which was in front of us is now in the loop line and we are on the main line, so we are clear to go. I think we crossed the 85 kmph speed. This should not happen. Again we did some mistake.
Zugbeeinflussung, 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 Zugbeeinflussung.
Now again start moving our train. So 1000 Hertz rule is that till crossing the next signal you should not increase your speed beyond 85 because that 1000 Hertz circuit is turned on in the train and that needs to be reset after the next signal only because it is based on the signals and all. It don't know whatever going in front of you. It just work on based on the signals. You can see at this signal it will get reset. I need more training based on this LZB and PZ. Otherwise it will take a lot of time while operating our train. You can see this freight train was there in front of us, which was blocking our way, and in front of this freight train, now in front of us, we're having some stopping train running. You can see the next signal. Next signal is red, you can see there. And again we will get that 1000 Hz warning. You can see we should not increase our speed beyond the 1000 Hz even if the signal in front of us is green, because still crossing the next signal our 1000 Hz circuit will be turned on. Yeah, you can see again we are getting some problem. I don't know why this type of thing is happening. I think today's journey is like a teaching journey for us in terms of the safety systems. And I think today we will reach very late at our last station destination. Let's try, we'll try to cover up the time or the distance, because we are left with just 50 kilometers and we are still having half an hour. We'll try to reach on time at our last station. I think we are running slower than this train which is running in front of us. That regional train is also running at a high speed. We are just caught up with the safety systems, that's why we are late. But we will try to cover up. Again I can see we'll need to apply the brakes. You can see the signal, one green and double yellow. This is the sign that will put your emergency brake like 1000 Hz. You can see we got the 1000 Hz. The signal is not turning green. You can see we are having 80 speed limit, 85 km speed limit based on our safety system. Don't see the speed limit.
Zugbeeinflussung.
So our current speed limit is set by the LZB or PZB, not LZB. And you can see we are still left with 48 kilometers. And our next signal is green, but we can't increase the speed beyond 85 because still our 1000 hertz circuit is active, you can see. So we'll need, okay, you can see the 1000 hertz circuit is active, but the speed limit is 165. So after this signal you can increase the speed. At this signal our 1000 hertz circuit will be closed. You can see it is saying that your speed limit is 165. Now we'll run our train at 165. And now it has gone finally. This is called as the safety systems. The German safety systems are very strict in terms of the moderation and everything. They are always ready to apply the emergency brakes. Safety is their #1 priority. If your train is late, it's okay, but it should be safe. This kind of philosophy the German safety systems follow. Again you can see we are getting attention signal, attention, you can say caution also, but yeah, it is finally changed. I will now increase the speed up to 160 because I want to cover the distance. I think, yeah, the train in front of us is now in the loop line on the next station, so we got everything clear in front of us, so nothing more to worry about. We'll now get clear aspects of the signal. You can see the train in front of us is now in loop line. We are having 150 km speed limit here at the station. We are crossing some small stations where regional trains have their stops. We'll operate the regional train and we'll also do a passenger mode in regional train. So this train was there in front of us, blocking our way. You can see the train is now in loop line, and the train will depart after our train crosses this platform completely. So our train will shortly clear the way of that train which was in loop line. So till that we will enjoy the high speed action at 160 km/h. You can see all the aspects of the signal ahead are clear. You can see up to 3.7 km. And also as you increase the speed you will see the more kilometers in this route indicator. You can see the 4 km ahead aspects on this route indicator at this 160 km/h. You increase up to 200 and all, you will see more than 4 km aspect on this route indicator. We are left with the 40 kilometers for our destination. So half of our distance is now covered. Now we will try to maintain the speed to cover up the time which we have wasted in safety systems, emergency brake trigger. scenery is quite great in this route. You can see all the signals are now in a clear position. I mean, the aspect of the signal is clear. All the signals are green on the way. Because this train is also a high priority train, because this train will be covering a lot of distance. It should have the high priority. It should reach at all the stations before time. If not possible before time, it should reach on time only. It should not be late. I mean, sometimes the complex situations arises which cannot be avoided. So at that time, the trains which are getting late, it is quite considered, but not at all time. And I think in the sky you can see the clouds are gathering. I think the rain might come till we are reaching at our destination. See, the variable speed limits are now coming in, and they will getting changed as we cover the distance towards our destination. Because when we enter that main line, from here till the main line of Fulda, we will have this kinds of speed limit, because we will be going through the mountains. You can see this area is completely surrounded by the mountains, and that main line of Castle to Duisburg is also through the tunnels and valleys you have seen in my previous videos of Trainset World 3. So because of that line, it's covered in valleys and tunnels. Whenever you will join that line through this route, first of all you will experience all these mountains. We are 35 kilometers away from that main line of Castle, but you can see we are now only getting the speed limits because of the mountains. You can see at left hand side there is one small mountain. Right hand side far away you can see some hills. So for 30 to 40 kilometers these things are there, and having a speed limit of 120, 110, and continuously varying between 100 to 150. So that's why it takes a lot of time to cover the distance on this route, because of this mountain thing. The main line is very good. Main line is built through the mountain. So wherever possible they have made tunnels, wherever possible they have made big bridges. That's why the trains on that main line can continue to run at 250 to 300 kmph. But here the routes are made through the sides of the mountains and all. That's why here we can't maintain the speed like 200 or above 150 kmph because of the curves and all. You can see the raining, it started. We are in the mountain region with the dynamic weather turned on, so the raining must be there only. So far everything is going perfect. Previously we were having just some ZB faults. Actually that was our fault in operating the train, not a BZB fault. So here you can see we just got a 130 kmph speed limit, but shortly after 2 kilometers we are getting again 110 kmph speed limit. So this type of continuously changing speed limits will be there till we reach the final destination, and the final destination is still around 30 kilometers. I think today we'll be late at our destination. This last section of 40 kilometers while entering the Fulda, it's a lot of time taking section because of its speed limit. We'll now the dynamic brakes. We'll now try the dynamic brakes. Here, reduce our speed. You can see, because we are currently operating in hills, we have the freedom to operate the dynamic brakes to meet our train speed with the continuously changing speed limits. And you can see on this gradient meter we are about 1% on uphill gradient, so we'll need to keep our throttle in a power position constantly to maintain the speed. And after the 4 kilometers we will get 140 km speed limit, and that will again change after some kilometers. I think we should turn on the... Okay, we should keep on signal lights only. It's still the daylight, 10 AM in the morning. Not require the headlights. These marker lights are enough. You can see the lot of loop lines are there on the stations for the goods train. We are now on the completely plain safe surface, you can see, and again we are climbing the uphill gradient on the gradient meter. The stations are on the plain surface, so the stations are not on gradient, but after station you will climb the mountains, and while going to Frankfurt you will have the downhill gradient because you were on that left hand side track running in the opposite direction, so you will experience the downhill gradients. So there you will need to apply the dynamic brakes constantly to stop your speed from increasing. Getting 140 km speed limit, and after 1 kilometer we are getting 160 km speed limit. So okay, now we are free to increase the speed of our train, and due to fog we will now turn on the headlights in dimmed position, high beams dimmed. Due to fog we are turning them on. Now increase our speed on the uphill gradient. I think we are entering into tunnel. Yeah, so this is the big tunnel on this line. I think this is the only one tunnel on this particular line. And this tunnel is having good speed limit because of the straight track. This tunnel is having 160 km speed. A huge space around both the sides of the track. So if any worker is working on the track, he can move at the edge of the tunnel to save himself from the oncoming trains. We are left with the 22 kilometers. to cover. You can see this is our destination. We are here and we have covered this much of distance. We have covered more than 75% of the distance. And shortly in 1 kilometer we will be having a speed limit of 140 after the end of this tunnel. See, we are finally out of tunnel and raining is going on heavily, but the raindrops are not quite visible on the windscreen. We'll turn on our wiper on intermittent mode only. And now we are we are having downhill gradient. Yes, 0.7% of downhill gradient. Again some BR 401 dB crossing from left hand side. Shortly we'll get to 160 kmph speed limit again. Can see the new suspension updates are working very perfect when our train crosses the points and crossings. You can see the jumping action of the engine, I mean the vibrations that are coming. It feels like a real life operation of the locomotive. And we got the 160 kmph speed limit and we have 10 minutes left with the 15 kilometers more to cover. We'll be late by 1 to 2 minutes only, not much. Still, we are running late. That's not good. That was because of the safety systems. We were wrongly operated and interpreted that safety systems. That's why we were having the failure penalty 4 times. Just 10 AM in the morning and the weather is so bad. It is looking like currently there is evening, but in actual according to time it is the morning period. It was bright sunny when we started at Frankfurt. But when we came in these mountains, the weather changed and turned into a bad weather. So this thunderstorm is going on. You can see windows are closed. It's not. You can see the beach running from the top is the main line from the castle to Enhancement. We are shortly now entering on to the main line. You can see here we have just crossed that main lines from below this bridge here, and we are meeting here. We are now gaining the elevation and we'll meet them in the top. We are still left with 8 kilometers and 8 more minutes we are having to reach at our destination. See, we are having 140 km speed limit after 4 kilometers. That might be due to the station it's coming. We have given the platform number 8 of our destination Fulda. You can see from the left hand side we are now joining the main line. We are joining from right hand side, but the main line is on left hand side, and the LZB is now activated because we are on the main line. So I think we are on time. Reduce our speed up to 140 because of the oncoming limit. Finally at 10:04 we will take a stop at Fulda. So we are not only on a time, but we are before time, before 3 to 4 minutes at our destination. After having all the penalties due to PZB, we are still before the time at our destination. This is how you should operate the train to reach on time at our destination. At our destination Fulda also you can see a lot of raining is going on, and I have also included some mod in this game. Some mods are there regarding the graphics and the signal intensity and all, so you can see the mods in the description of the video. I have also provided the link to the mods so you can download for your game if you want. See, after 1 kilometer the signal is red. And we are now entering into the platform number 8 of Fulda. minutes early at our destination. This is a good thing. After all the hustles and mistakes with the PZB, we are still on time. And here we'll stop our train at this H marking. Our train is completely into the platform. Now we'll unlock the right hand side doors. We'll apply the brakes to the full service. Now the doors. So this button is not working sometime, I don't know. But yeah, doors are now open. And this train is going to Berlin. You can see this train is going to the capital of Germany, which is Berlin. It will depart at 10:09 and that will be operated by some another driver, because we are having the section till here only in this map. You can see everything ahead is now closed. And now we are closing the doors. And that's it for the today's video. Thank you so much for watching this video. Have a nice day.